Kurken ook trap sonsen. Trap sonsen, trap dansen. Toen is ons de hoekje door het land. Daar is dood en door het amor daar. I'm a young trap nigga. En die valt ons op naar de
What are you doing, bloodbath?
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. You asked for Mayhem. Mayhem is always going to be here as long as you're free. But it's going to be an amazing show. We also have Kelvin Gastelum calling in. My man Kelvin's going to be here. I want to thank Speedweed. Listen, marijuana is legal in California, so don't leave your house to get it. You go to a dispensary. It's like a Walmart now on Black Friday. People are fighting. There's it's crazy. All right, get it delivered. Speedweed will take care of it. Me and my wife, we use the THC sex lube. Yeah. Definitely amazing, high quality. They have edibles. They have whatever you need. Mention Roasted, $10 off, $100 or more. Also, I got to talk to you about, Santa Cruz Medicinals. Okay, they make deep sleep capsules, and adaptogenic mushroom capsules to help you sleep. Okay, I definitely need that because
adaptogenic.
Yes, because I have trouble sleeping. Also, they have MCT oil and coconut oil. You put it in your coffee. You get CBD. You could get a post-workout shake to get a potent dose of CBD. Check out their products at scmedicinals.com. Use the code ROASTED for 10% off and free shipping. Highly recommend. So let's talk about last week. After the show, I think it was 2 Tuesdays ago, we did a show at the Dime Bar. And Very nice. I was like, Mayhem, want to do comedy at the Dime Bar? You showed up. And it was awesome doing comedy with you, man.
Got some laughs.
You got some laughs.
I fucking did great, bro. I was a standing ovation.
Fucking killed it, bro.
Well, there were no seats.
I'm like, baby, they ain't cooking this bitch.
Yeah, people were running for the but yeah, so that was awesome. First of all, it's like a small room. It's like holds like 25 people, so it's a great place to work out new stuff. And I was surprised because I was like, hey, do you want to do stand up? And I was I'm like, am I pressuring you to do it? I don't want to put that shit on you. It's the worst thing you want is someone to do comedy who does not really. And you were like, no, I did an open mic the night before.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Which was, I was like, okay. Well,
yeah, I'm working some shit out. It's actually coming together. I mean, I'm no Brendan Schwab, but I mean, I'm definitely got some skills.
Yeah, but and then you said that you had gotten laid right before, which is you were like walking kind of funny towards the stage.
I mean, I must have caught something, or I don't know.
You said
we're gonna have to get over to the fucking doctor down the street. Get a full checkup.
What are those guys?
I needed some THC oil lube. Yeah, or some shit. Like, tell your wife to
you didn't use it.
That shit. Yeah.
You don't have any more samples?
No, come on, bro.
Of course. I actually sometimes think about bringing it with me on the road.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, what if I get busted with this? Like, how sad? But but it's all.
It's like unpacking the suitcase.
Yeah. So no, but it was cool doing comedy with you.
It's like soy sauce.
I felt bad because I wanted you to tell that story, and I was like yelling it out while you were on stage.
Yeah. Like I didn't prepare the story. Like, and then you tried to tell the story and it bombed too. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that a professional comedian who's a fucking gangster at this shit also fucked this story up because I told the story and it was just crickets. It's a bunch of damn.
Well, you kind of said the punchline before. The story was.
You're right.
But he went to Japan to fight in Pride.
Yeah.
He asked the people, hey, make sure you guys I want to get Japanese girls dressed up as schoolgirls for the thing. But they got actual Japanese schoolgirls. So the girls
11
were
years old.
Yeah, they were like 12.
Yeah.
So then he gets, and then his corner's like, I think that one girl's looking at me during his fight.
But bro, she's not.
Yeah, so
I mean, the age of consent in Japan, who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, so that was the story, which I thought was hilarious. But it was good. You did a bunch of jail jokes. You said I just got out, and I think people didn't know if you were actually kidding or not. But it was good. It was. It's
all jokes.
It was good. So anyway, after that, I flew I had a crazy week. I had to do a show in the military. I flew from LA to Miami to the Bahamas. Did a show. I didn't even know we had bases in the Bahamas, which was.
I didn't either.
Yeah, if you're stationed,
cool.
I would want to be stationed in the Bahamas.
I knew Hawaii. Hawaii's a big one for Marines, but I had no idea we had.
Yeah, it was mostly
rad.
Air Force. Then back to Miami, back to a different base in the Bahamas, back to Fort Lauderdale, back to Baltimore, to Greenland. and then did a show in Greenland, which I didn't know that we'd have base there either. We do. There's like 100 troops in Greenland that the U.S. has, and it's night. It's like nighttime.
100?
3 months around there. It's like
awesome.
It's like 99 dudes and like one girl. I'm like, this is like a fucking bachelorette here. And then,
right.
But they actually took us to this room and showed us like basically it's like 3 dudes like this looking at a monitor and watching to see if missiles are coming in from Europe. All like to see. It's just 3 guys. I'm like, I've never felt less safe in my life. Wow. But there's never been a missile.
Who's gonna bomb us? Lithuania?
I don't
understand.
They're really good at their jobs.
Yeah.
They never fall asleep.
And then they were like, "Do you have any questions?" Because the last guys asked us where we hide the aliens. So I thought that was actually kind of funny.
Wait, is that our only defense against missiles? Is dudes watching a monitor in like some base?
But there's like 10 bases around the world that we have.
And so everybody's watching
there's
the
like
monitor.
Yeah.
There's like 18 guys.
Yeah.
There's like one dude like in a security closet, like, hey, we got a missile coming over here. Somebody run.
No, and then
shit.
and then the guy showing me the tour was an Asian guy named Officer Bang.
No way, dude.
Yeah, so I wanted to be like, meet the gang, Bang. Like I had all these fucking jokes for him.
Lieutenant Bang.
I was like, during the show, I'm like, when you're behind him, or you're like, what's my name? Bang, bang. And like, I just had all these. It was hilarious. But then,
was it at least like BHANG?
No,
or was it just straight
exactly
up
bang?
It was a straight bang. So that was pretty cool. Like the shows itself were awesome. Officer Bang was there, and then we had one night in Miami, me and the comics. So we had an overnight. So I was like, you know what? We had the night off. So I knew a guy. There was a strip club right next to our hotel. But
Greenland, we're talking.
No, in Miami.
Oh, Miami.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? If you guys want to go to a strip club, I have a friend named DJ Platypus, right? Who
It's a perfect
and he's a
stripper
DJ in Miami at Tootsie's, which is like the best strip club in Tootsie's, right? Like, I mean, strip club in like Miami. So I brought the guys over, and then, but it's different when you're married, going to a strip club versus when you're single. When you're single, you can like pull girls. And
For
like,
sure. You don't. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it.
Well, talk about it.
I was going to say you don't feel bad about it when you're single. Like when you go and you're married or like in a relationship, you're like, oh, okay.
Well, I know, and like I knew my wife
like
wanted me to be there, but I'm not going to call and be like, hey, it's okay if I go to a strip club, because she'll say. No.
Better to ask for forgiveness than permission, dude. Always.
Right. And then a part of me felt like, I'm home with the baby right now and blah, blah, blah. So I like went and my friends bought me a lap dance, but I didn't take it because I promised my wife I wouldn't get a lap dance.
You just gave her the money, so.
No, I gave it
to somebody else.
I gave it to the guy who bought it. I'm like, you take it, right? So then we go back to, I go back home, and my wife says, and the problem is I have shared locations on my phone.
Nice. She's cyber stalking your strip club movements.
Like, this motherfucker.
That's good though. But you didn't get a lap dance, so she got like GPS on your dick.
Well, no, but we did like what happened was I accidentally shared locations, but now if I take it off, so know something's up.
Accidentally.
So now I can't. So then I come back home and I'm lying there with my wife, and she's like, something came up. She's like, speaking of you not telling the truth, and then my leg started shaking, and then then it was something completely different, and then she goes, "What? What did you do?" And I was like, nothing, and I started like turning. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Like I made it so.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "What did you do?"
silent.
She's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, I didn't do anything. She's like, Did you dance with a girl?" I'm like, "No." "Did you go to a strip club?" And I'm like,
damn, on the second try.
And I don't want to lie. I fucking hate it. So I was like, yeah, I went to a strip club, but I didn't get a lap dance. And then I was like, I'm like, but the other guys were like smacking girls' asses with, I was hitting them with dollar bills. Like,
but the other guys were doing it.
She's
you
like,
were there.
But she's like, what are you, Tekashi? Are you fucking snitch? Like, what are you snitching on? She called me Tekashi,
69 on your face.
So then it was just one of those things where I was telling her like, no, I just went up to, which I did. I was actually handing the dollar bills to the girls.
Oh, here you go.
So anyway, so that was.
You got to use the intermediary from now on.
But my wife was cool about it. She's like, why don't you just? I go, you're hot. Listen, you're hotter than all the strippers. And if you were up there, I would have made it rain. And she goes, yeah, with divorce papers. And I was like she was just killing me, dude. It's fucking killing me.
Burn.
So that was my whatever. But we're cool. It was a little bit of an argument, but she was happy.
How long did this argument go on? Was it worth the strip club
20
time?
minutes, 30 minutes.
Oh yeah,
I
totally.
feel like she has to understand that you're in this world of like young single dudes, and now you're the married guy. but you still got to be kind of cool. So you got to like lead the way.
That's what I said. I go, I don't want to be the only guy who's like, I can't go because my wife won't let me. Like, I just.
Yeah,
you
you don't want to be that guy.
That.
Well, but I feel like that's the guy who's like a cheater or like a pedophile. Like, that's the guy with like fucking secrets.
No,
you
want to be the cool older married dude that gives the little bits of advice throughout the night. Where you're like, I don't do that if I slow down
on with that one.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like this kind of stuff. You got to guide these young gentlemen.
Every group needs that guy.
It is a gentleman's club.
It's a hero.
Well, that's why I didn't want to go there and just so I went there and it was fine. You're right. I did ask for forgiveness, but for them permission. But I can't stand being the guy who has to ask for permission to do stuff from your wife. I've always felt like those guys were weird. And at the same time, my wife, she handled it pretty well. Like she didn't get mad. She goes, I don't care if you go to strip clubs. I'm like,
but
I'm
it was
not
an hour's worth of bickering, right? And you're taking up 10 minutes of the podcast crying about your wife.
You told me to write this shit down. You told me to be more organized. This is part of the organization.
All right.
So, but here's the thing. I was like, she's like, well, how do I know if you didn't tell me about this? How do I know that you're not doing other things and having a secret girlfriend?
Oh, God.
And I'm like, or
having slippery slope.
And I'm
you
like,
know what, man? You're impeached. You're getting impeached right now.
What do you mean I'm getting impeached?
I think your wife is
She's
filing
impeaching
an inquiry.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I'm like, do you really think if I had a girlfriend, I would tell you if I had about this? Like, why would I?
Well, yeah, but the thing was, you weren't upfront about it. You didn't like.
That's what she says. But she's like, I'm like, listen, I don't have a private life. I don't have a private girlfriend. I don't cheat on you. But then I go, the problem is, I have a category of things that I'm not going to tell my wife because it'll just be.
I'm going to stop you right there. In my experience with women, and it's thorough, that's like lying by omission. So like in their mind, you're omitting that because you got something to hide.
But isn't that?
But no. I'm just gonna stop you right there and admit that if you tell her, then it's just even more piling on. There's no way to win this. This is what I'm saying to you: is that you're just in the fucking hellscape that is marriage. And you'll never get out of it till you're fucking divorced. And then you're going through the fucking custody battle every day. And then, I'm sorry, I'm being kind of negative about this. But I'm just telling you that, like, you can't win.
But isn't there a category of things? But sometimes
bro.
The way I was looking at it was like, there's a category of like, all right, this is not cheating. And this is not like, I'm not fucking around. At the same time, if I tell her, it's going to be way more of a fucking problem.
Am I going to get the argument for not telling her sometime, maybe eventually, or do I tell her and know that there's an argument coming?
There's no winning until you cut your dick off.
It's like ripping the Band-Aid off. Like, fuck
well, here's what
what
happened was. What happened was Hendo came to my show, Dan Henderson.
Beautiful.
And he's like, this is when my wife was 8.5 months pregnant. And afterwards in Vegas, he goes, hey, we're going to a strip club. I'm having an after party on a party bus. And I'm like, fucking Dan Henderson, like, what's his name? Aljamain Sterling, and this one was there, and all these people, and Gian Vellante.
100% you go.
So I went.
100%.
Now, I didn't tell my wife because she's 8.5 months pregnant. But on the way to driving her to give birth, they were talking about the stuff on Howard Stern. I'm like, oh, strip clubs aren't even that good. When was the last time you went? I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And then she started crying
and went into labor.
Yeah, but I figured that that would be.
You told her why she was in labor?
No,
or you sent her into labor.
While I was driving, her water was like. While I was driving for her to give birth, so then that became a thing of like she started crying, but I'm like, well, you know what? I'm like, this will be way more labor will be more painful than what she's in now, so maybe that'll counteract the anger.
Just get it all out.
Yeah, and then I was like, then my excuses were like, but babe, you were pregnant and my body was in pain. So here's the thing, I didn't get a lap dance. Some people were buying. I go, but I did get a massage. Like I got one, but not like in the back
not
room.
A dick massage.
No, but like those ladies, they're not strippers. They
like
come
a
over
Thai massage lady.
They give you like elbow massages while you're sitting there. Well, try explaining that to your wife who's about to give, because it just became like, why would you get a massage? I was stressed. I was the one carrying your fucking baby for 8 hours. And it just became, oh God. So
man,
the strip club
was
still
married.
The strip club was a sore subject.
It's a miracle.
Anyway, how are you doing?
I ain't going to no strip club, so I feel all right.
What's going on with you?
Everything, nothing. I mean, something. I'm here.
Thank you.
When's the book coming out?
I got to ask you. So last time, Hector Lombard on the show, right? Who's the biggest fan ever. By the way, thanks for all the comments of I'm only here for Mayhem. Someone wrote, even Hector's only here for Mayhem. And then someone else wrote, I'm only here for Adam. Just kidding, Mayhem. Now people are just fucking being total dicks. Thank you, fans, for letting me know that you're only here for me. I appreciate that. So, he said, hey, go do this, do that, bare knuckle boxing. And you said, hey, I'm kind of having a difficult time right now with the with the sobriety and just transition.
Readjusting to the world, bro.
But what did you mean by that?
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, let me put you in your bathroom for a year and then let you out. No phone, nothing. Just like a shitty television that you got to stare at through a... No,
I get
NBC.
why, but like exactly like what's going on.
Well, because all right, so when you go to the damn, your wife tell you go get cereal, and then you go to the cereal aisle, and then you just like realize that there's so many types of cereal, and that little bit of anxiety. Now multiply that by 1 billion, and you have a little bit of what I'm going through.
So
because now there's so much stuff to do, there's so many like things to decide, and the whole world's becoming open to me as people realize that I'm like sane now and like a normal guy. It's like I have all these opportunities presented to me, and it's difficult to like, kind of like choose your path. It's a good problem to have, but it's a problem nonetheless. Like I think that reintegrating into society after a long absence from it is more difficult than people, realize. And, it's my hope. And right now I'm helping a lot of guys who are going through that same process. It's helping me to help them because, the recidivism rate is really high because once you get used to standing in front of your door and getting your food and get like just being a damn, kind of a leech on society, it's hard to go back, to like being a normal human. And that's what I'm going through. And it's getting easier every day, every week, and it is cool.
Now,
but the reality is, bro, is that this is a damn tough trend. I'm a totally different person than 2 months, 3 months ago.
Do you feel in a way that you've missed out on life? Like life's
Of course. But, that's my own damn fault. If I wasn't acting like a madman, destroying my entire house, you know what I mean? Fighting with the cops, like I wouldn't have had to go through that. But, our society has some damn rules. We live in a society.
Are friends helping you out?
Yeah. I mean, undoubtedly, if you especially, and a bunch of people with Pillars Recovery, which is a place that I work with now, that they have really been instrumental in my success. This type of, nobody gives a shit about a dude who's a criminal, but they forget that these guys are human beings, and like they have some greatness in them. Everybody does. And if you can harness that and like bring it back to the forefront instead of all that bad behavior that, feeds into this negativity, you can help people rise up, and all of society rises up, but no one gives a shit.
Everyone does. People do that. But here's why I get nervous for you. Because, okay, so you came over to help coach wrestling, and we had a great time. You were a fantastic coach. I mean, you were so patient.
I love the kids, man. I
so
love
patient, so good. But afterwards, I'm like, hey, come inside. Let's get some food, right? In my house. We're in my house, and you're meeting my baby and playing with you, and everything's great. Now, I have a wacky neighbor, right? My neighbor, I mean, when I say wacky, like, just next
Across
level.
the street?
Across the street, yeah.
What's their ethnicity?
So she's white. All right. So, but
Jewish.
That's
make
but,
sure.
For
so,
sure
she's constantly lets her baby, who's 2 years old, naked, running around the front yard, which is bad for like 100 different reasons. Number one, there's pedophiles out there. Like the kid's too old to be naked. Like why is the kid? Just all kinds of shit, right?
Really?
So I'm talking to it. Just
Talk.
doesn't matter. It's a boy. It just doesn't.
Bruh, little
Also,
dick.
if it's a girl, it's okay.
Listen, little
matter.
dick swinging in the fucking breeze, bro.
It's not.
It was disturbing.
One thing
He warned me about it, and I still wasn't mentally prepared to see a little uncircumcised dick swinging in the wind.
But she's super nice, and she's sweet.
Is she though?
Okay, she's nice enough, okay, and normal, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you're like, this person maybe. What? So I look over and I'm like, oh shit, that fucking kid's naked again, because these kids like 8 hours outside naked. So Mayhem goes. She comes to the door, and Mayhem comes out and goes, put some clothes on that kid, right? And I was just,
Well, I can't help it, bro. I'm a confrontational person.
Right.
You know,
And then
if it was his daddy out there with the dick swinging in the wind, I would have told him, put some goddamn pants on.
Of course. So she goes, who are you? And you go, Mayhem. And I'm like, so now I'm like,
And then she goes, are you his cousin or something? I was like, yeah, I'm his cousin.
So then she goes, oh, so she starts rambling, and he goes, all right, I don't want to see that kid's wiener anymore, right? Or something to that extent. And I go, Mayhem, come here, like get away from the door, like just come back in the house, right? So I go, dude.
And I backed off.
Of course. You sat down, but I go, bro, listen, this woman's obviously something's the issue, but she goes home and she Googles Mayhem, right? And all your shit comes up, and then she goes, oh no, and she makes a phone call and says, this guy's made it inappropriate, cut my wiener away. I was like,
how much? They can't violate me for telling a kid to put his wiener away.
They can't. But it was like I was thinking of like 10 different directions where this could have gone wrong.
See,
right?
but your anxiety.
No,
look,
you said thank you.
I have like a lack of anxiety about most stuff, and you have like a super anxiety about everything. I think we have a nice little balance here.
1,000%. I take things
because I'm
always.
I ain't breaking the law.
I'm always.
If
like,
anything, this lady breaking the law. Hey, that's disturbing the peace. Put that uncircumcised dick away.
And I was like, I don't know. Well, the point is that it was, I think circumcised. I think they're Jewish. But anyway, so they came over.
Circumcised?
I don't
know. Why are you looking at that wiener so hard, bro?
I just know they're Jewish. But so and they were on our property. But I always.
That's what I'm saying.
I do think of like the worst.
So they were in your.
They came.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Look, I wouldn't have said nothing.
They're friendly-ish.
No. This kid is doing a power move, bro.
I thought
kid's coming over
the street
with
on
his
their own
circumcised
lawn, and
cock.
you're fucking yelling.
No, he was on. Like I wouldn't have said shit, but all of a sudden, this little Neanderthal baby wanders over.
The point is, look,
with his dick hanging out. Is offensive.
I know, but
to me and to the rest of America.
Okay,
Adam.
but I'm looking at worst case scenario, right?
What's the worst case scenario?
Is that you end up in some ridiculous scenario,
bro? I wish the cops would show up and I'd be like, look at this baby dick. Somebody get this baby
That's
dick
where I get worried about
off his property.
That's where I get worried about you. I get worried about you because yes, you're in the right. But when you're around other people that are maybe a little off, okay, your offness comes out.
Listen,
a little
you didn't
bit.
get it. Yeah, I was hitting on that chick. I was trying to be her. I was trying to be her new baby daddy.
The point is that you.
And then we could live right across the street from each other.
But then for like the next 2 weeks, I thought like Mayhem needs somebody around him
at all times.
All times.
Get the fuck
telling
out of here.
him, dude. Okay, you're right. You're completely in the right.
Look,
but where like you're starting right now at like -27, and everyone else is at 0.
I hear
okay?
you.
So
look, I'll admit, okay, I was a little aggressive with my tell that baby to get his dick off my lawn type attitude.
Oh, right.
You're right. All right, you know the jailhouse came out.
I worry about someone hearing this fucking podcast. Okay, but I don't.
But you got to admit that. Look, I mean,
no, you're in the right. But what my point is that I think crazy people or people
are attracted to me.
They attracted to you, and they bring out your sense of like craziness or inappropriateness, and then you're the one who's going to get in trouble.
No, but here's the thing: is that you understand that I like took it upon myself to do that because I knew I don't live here. And I don't that way. I don't live here.
Fucking
and
house.
I'll be over at your house every once in a while, but not all the time.
You have 12 strikes against you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I was trying to do you a solid by making it uncomfortable for since she doesn't think it's uncomfortable that a 2-year-old. When does that baby get to put the pants on?
You get yourself in these wacky scenarios. Like you get yourself in these scenarios. You're like, wait, naked in a church with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a game of Mad Libs where you just like. Like
I'm well aware.
Was blank,
I always
in
do
a blank in a blank. Right?
I do self-reflection, bro. I get it that I'm not exact. I'm always in a wacky situation.
But you have to.
But Mayhem at Adam's house with the baby with no clothes on. That just made me feel weird.
You're right.
And I was trying to help you out.
I understand.
But now I caused you more pain. And I'm sorry.
Let's just help you out, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say.
Don't worry about me, Bloodbath. I got this.
No, before you yell out, put some. I don't want to see his wiener, okay? To the mother of a fucking child, right? And I don't want to see his wiener either.
This naked baby thing is
nobody
getting pretty
see his wiener.
sensitive.
No, but the thing is,
you don't want to see the wiener.
I don't want to.
Your wife don't want to see it, and your little baby does not to be exposed to wieners this early in her life.
But I want to see you again. okay?
But what the hell's gonna happen?
Is
If the
that you're
cops show up, it was a calculated risk there.
Don't
Adam
you understand
Hunter.
that like you're not a great lawyer?
Yeah.
And
Objection.
Let's just say that like
Sustain.
let's just say that okay, you need like a Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder saying, Mayhem, you're right, but let's just fucking.
I have that guy. I just told him to shut the fuck up all the time.
All right, that's fair. All right,
fair.
Moving on. Okay.
You know what? Fine. If you don't want me to, give opinions on baby dicks,
I don't.
Fine.
What I want you to do is just think to yourself, there's some crazy people out there, and I don't have to out crazy them, or I don't have to tell them that, right? Just think about yourself.
Why are you trying to suck all the fun out of my life,
dude? Come on, because honestly, I think it'll be something so fucking stupid that'll set you back there. And
listen, I felt like that lady was flirting with me a little bit.
She might have been. She might have been.
I think we were like this close to sucking face.
And then that was a point where I'm sitting there thinking, "Fuck, man!" Like, he's gonna have a tough time because little things are gonna fucking set him off, and you're in the right, and it's like.
No, but here's the thing: where you're not getting, Adam. I appreciate you're so worried about me. Is that I knew where the line was. And I danced right up to it. I danced right up to it. Hey, and then I made her my friend. By the end of that, she's like, "Okay, see you later."
Right.
She's my BFF. But the reality is that I had to say something.
You also
I'm not the kind of person to shut the fuck up. Okay,
right,
I had to say something because this baby dick was making everyone uncomfortable.
Okay,
your wife, you, and you live there, so you can't really say nothing. I realize I don't live here, so I can put a little seed, put the seed of doubt in her head.
But it's like
maybe it's time to put some when. So when that kid's 13 and your daughter's 12 and that kid's swinging dick around, just remember that Mayhem was the first one to say, "Put some pants on."
I will remember that, but I also for example, when someone says, "Hey, we should do a podcast," and you show up at their house and their basement, and they're like, "What the fuck you breaking in my house? I was drunk when I said that, right?" And then they pull a gun on you. Okay, the thing to do is not say, "I'm not scared of death." Pull it, right? Like maybe it's just time to get the fuck out of the house.
Man,
you know?
Well, you know what? Duly noted.
All right,
so I think before I take a side on this argument, I got to see that baby's dick. It all depends on how big it is, dude.
See? Dude, it was offensive. It was big enough to be offensive. His dad is definitely of African
descent. All right,
descent.
Joe, how are you doing? What's going on with you?
Well, I ain't gonna lie.
Please don't.
No big deal. I think everybody at some point, if they're in a serious relationship, they come to their sexual limit, meaning they've pretty much done everything they can think of. You do doggy style, you do missionary, and it's what else is there?
Ass blasting.
Well, I do ass blast, all that stuff. So I reached my limit. So I'm sort of exploring new things, and I just explored the best thing I've ever came across of all time, just by accident.
What is this?
I went to Target, and
that's it.
I went to
Target.
I was doing holiday shopping, and I went to the men's section, and I saw they have a bunch of holiday onesies, costumes. I found a turkey costume, and there's a Santa Claus costume. So I bought the turkey costume.
Nice.
And I brought it home. I put it on, and I was like, this actually feels kind of cool. I'm like a Thanksgiving turkey, And so I remember I had a reindeer one from last year. I let my girlfriend use the reindeer one. I put on the turkey one. I was like, dude, this is fucking hot.
Bruh, this
physically?
is the beginning of a furry.
Yeah, exactly.
So you fucked her as a turkey?
Well, I'm not gonna.
No, he didn't fuck her. He turkey basted a reindeer.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it, dude. So I'm doing a little bit more research on the whole furry movement because when you put that outfit on, you feel like an animal. Dude.
It's empowering.
Yeah.
It's very empowering.
But it was a turkey.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my first choice.
And
but
what
it's an animal.
did your wife or your girlfriend? Did she have any kind of? Seems like she's always down for your adventures.
Oh yeah, she's always down. Yeah,
she was a virgin before you.
I mean, how long did you play these reindeer games?
Not long, but I do have a lot of,
All right,
bro. This is a very.
Okay, so
now that I
are
think
you going to
about
delve in? Is this a thing that you're going to
Oh yeah, I'm doing
go
more
into?
research. I can know.
Do you have an animal already picked out, or are
Bruh.
you doing different researches?
I was in a joint
I
with
just
a
want
dude
to
who was a
experience
furry.
everything.
really?
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
He's like, I know. I saw you glance at me. I think I told you about this. This guy got involved with a triple murder in the furry community.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
yeah.
How?
That's dark.
I know.
Was it animal cruelty?
I
or-
know.
Wait,
Yeah, animal cruelty.
wait. So what happened?
I mean, bro.
They got him for
damn.
dark
I hate to make the damn podcast so dark, but yeah, this guy, these two dudes were friends with another girl, all in the furry community, right? And apparently the girl was like 17 or so. She told the guys that her stepdad was molesting her. These dudes, apparently, one of them was like a Army vet who never really seen combat action or anything. Well, he just blasts everybody in the house with the shotgun. Nice. Fucking terrible. He went down for life. He's gone away forever. But the other guy who was involved in it, that was the guy I knew. And he said he wasn't involved with that at all.
Right.
But the cops think something different. So he educated me on that furry stuff. I kept asking him the weird, like, what the so you dress up as a fucking...
Like a mascot from high school.
Were you like the therapist in the prison?
I was, bro. I therapized everybody. Like,
Yeah.
I just was completely, like giving everybody a
Did
shoulder
people
to
tell you
cry
where the
on.
bodies were and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I had a guy tell me, yeah, they're out by the 74 freeway. I went back over there. They're just skeletons.
Wow.
I know. It was fucking creepy. Maybe that guy's full of shit, but I don't know, man.
Wow.
It was a dark period in my life. Yeah, and
did you feel normal?
those are my friends.
But do you feel more normal? So you felt like
completely normal compared to these dudes. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Was there anybody that made
You're
you
like,
feel
I was
crazy?
just fucking
Yeah.
drinking,
Oh
man.
yeah,
What
I was
the
just fighting.
fuck?
I just got in a fight with the cops. I'm not a fucking madman like
threw a
these
head and arm
assholes.
'cause I was
Yeah. Just fucking wizard the cops.
And Tyler, what's going on with you?
Not much. Just got back from shooting the movie. I was out in Palm Springs for 3 weeks, which was
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
cool. Yeah, getting paid a lot of money for
Standing around.
hurry up and wait, dude.
Right.
Wow.
Hurry up and wait.
It was a good experience.
It was a great experience. Director, super cool, big, well-known guy. So it was cool.
can't talk
getting
about
to,
it,
like,
yada, yada.
Can't watch it. But it was cool, like getting to watch him work and like see how he does stuff and like how he shoots and where his,
And we were
what he's
coaching
looking
yesterday.
for
It was our
and
first
whatever.
semester back, and this little kid, like we always get, not always get, but this one kid came back, and I was like, all right, do some forward rolls. No. I can't. I go, okay, guys, on this team, there's no I can't, I won't, it's I will, and I just did. That's what I want to hear. And then I was like, hey, anybody have any questions? Do we wear body armor? I was like...
Body armor?
I'm like, no.
Like a fucking taekwondo.
This kid's playing too much fork knife.
and then we did like a sprawl, and he was like, ow! So then
Who is this kid?
It was like
never mind.
It was like a 90-year-old Woody Allen
I know, yeah.
on a middle school wrestling team, and he was making me laugh and the other kids laugh. But I have kids that like are really good this year that like do
Yeah, I
5
know.
days a week and yada yada. So I was like, Tyler, you handle this.
Yeah.
And you had to kind of just.
It was a blast.
Really? Or
I
not?
fucking had a blast. This kid, like, not an aggressive bone in his body.
Yeah, but
But
Who
like
signed him
trying.
up for wrestling? His damn overbearing dad?
I'm sure it was.
I don't think he. I think he has the most coddling parents in the entire
Well, I said to
world.
because I was showing them the head and arm, right? And then basically, I'm like, okay, who's ever given a noogie before, right? Raise your hand. So, okay, this is kind of the same, And I go, who's got a noogie? And the kid never got one. So
What's
then,
a noogie?
What's a noogie? So then Tyler gave him a noogie. It was just like, yeah.
I gave him the softest contact I could do,
And he cried.
and he was like, ah!
Yeah, it was just
Wow.
Fucking hilarious.
It's going to be a long season.
Yes.
I told him I don't want to hear it anymore. It's okay if it hurts, but don't let us know it hurts. Don't ever
The
let them
seventh grader,
know.
this kid?
Seventh
Six-
grader.
You got
Seventh?
Seven.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
I
he
think
was
a lot
a
of
sixth
times you
grader.
get parents.
No,
that are
he's a
just
sixth grader.
No, he's seven.
He's
And
12.
No, he's seven. I asked him.
He skipped a grade.
I told him, I go, this is your first day of wrestling, so you're gonna get away with a lot of shit. I'm not gonna get mad at you, but we have to take it to the next level. I'm not a babysitter, okay? I'm not interested in babysitting.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in coaching champions. So if you want to be a champion, this is what you do. But if not, there's all kinds of there's screenwriting 101.
Croquet.
There's like basket weaving.
Go play
It's-
croquet.
But this is not. And then I'm like, am I that asshole coach? Like it's hard of me to.
No, dude.
No.
So
You're a buttercup, okay? Because compared to me, I can't. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little too mean for those kids. The kids that I ran into with
Yeah.
you, those kids are all like savages.
Because they want to be
But
there.
this little guy,
trying to be- yeah.
I might be like, I might like lose my cool. I might do a lot of this like head slapping and like walking away. You know what I mean? Nah, I remember those kind of. I remember my coaches like had no patience for like the little wimps.
Well, that's the thing. Well, then the other part of me is like, well, it'd be great to turn this kid.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he can
Because
become
he's not going to
something.
get it anywhere else.
I don't want to give up on him on the first day, especially.
No.
It's all right.
At
I
the
got
same
him.
time,
I'll take him.
if this takes away from the rest of the kids, then we got a problem.
Hey, I turned King into a
Wrestler.
You wrestle. Yeah.
just call him
So
wrestler.
let's talk about some of the fights that went on. You watched the Jacare fight? No.
No. Didn't
Okay.
even see it yet.
So it was a really you missed nothing. It was a really boring fight. Jacare went up to 205. He looked great. I just think that with Jacare, it's hard because there's a guy who's not getting blown out. He's losing to guys that he would have beaten 5 years ago, but he's losing like by a small margin.
Yeah.
So you're like,
It's
well,
he's losing by a step. He's lost that step.
but he's right there.
39 years old.
I mean, it's one thing with like Chris Weidman, who's getting knocked out in 12 seconds. You're like,
Yeah.
maybe it's time. But what do you do with Jacare? You make him a gatekeeper?
I mean, that's kind of
If
where
he
you
wants-
arrive.
If he wants to be, yeah. If he wants to keep
look, he wants
fighting,
to keep
let him
fighting.
keep
He wants
fighting,
to
give
keep
him
fighting. There you
decent
go.
guys.
Now, you fought him
and whatever.
twice, right?
Yeah.
Now, your second fight, you got disqualified for soccer kicking him?
Nah, not disqualified.
What happened?
It's a no contest. I thought we were doing pride rules.
You really thought that?
Yeah.
Did they tell you that?
Yeah. But then when I kicked him in the
UFC?
head, they said it was illegal. I said, oh,
Nobody said you had no idea going into that fight you couldn't kick a guy in the head?
no.
Come on.
I didn't.
What did your coaches say afterwards?
They said, why did you kick him in the head?
Weren't you fucking paying attention to the rules meeting?
I was like, I'm better than Silva.
What did you guys? They didn't do a rules meeting?
Yeah, but it was in Japanese. I wasn't listening.
Now, the first time you fought him, though, the first fight, you lost a close decision, right?
Yeah.
Now, was he better than you expected or worse? Or did you know how good he was going to be?
It's about what I thought, Like, I knew he was a tough guy. He's always been tough, but,
Yeah.
I expected that.
Now, his jiu-jitsu, were you intimidated by that at all?
Nah. I like win my whole career, never tapped out. I like got choked one time, but like never tapped out. So I like was not afraid of
Who'd you
any
get
of
choked by?
Dude, Todd Carney. I hit my head on the mat and then woke up thinking I won. Yeah, he choked me with a guillotine. That was like way early in my career, and then I came back and mutilated
It was
him.
on like a double leg or something.
I
You just,
double legged
drove
him.
it, yeah.
I picked it was one of those great moments
One of
in
those
my
Matt
career.
Lindland moments?
Well, yeah, I scooped them up, and I heard the crowd go, and I was like, oh, watch this, and I like spun him around to the center of the ring and jumped, and I hit my head, and the last thing I remember was like thinking, you can't guillotine me. I'm awesome at jiu-jitsu. And then I woke up and Tito was looking down at me. I was like, did I win? Yeah, it was a rough one, man. That was funny. But like,
I mean, now, did you take losses? Did you cry afterwards? You get upset? Were you bummed?
yeah, for sure. You can't be a real competitor if you don't really give a fuck about losing. You know what I mean? I wish I could have just been like, haha, whatever. But like, yeah, dude, and like jumping rope every day, thinking about that loss is like that kind of singular focus. I really think that was instrumental to my success. Becoming a great fighter was that I was pushing myself every time and challenging myself to get better and better and holding myself to a real high standard.
Well, Tyler, like so. I mean, people don't know. I mean, you're 0-3 as a fighter. You're a brown belt. You can kick 99% my ass, everyone else's ass. But you seem like you kind of didn't get that upset when you lost, right?
Yeah, because like you said, you can't be a real competitor if you don't care if you win or lose. And I'm kind of like,
You're not a real
somewhere along the way,
competitor.
I lost the fire of being a competitor. No, it's funny. I was thinking about it last night, where I used to get so fucking angry when I would lose. Like as a kid through high school, would get so fucking angry. And somewhere in my competitive career in jiu-jitsu and fighting, like that just went away. Like I just stopped caring. I was like, oh, all right, well, life goes. Like I learned that like life just goes on, and like
But your image
going.
though,
So, like,
the image that you
whatever.
had was that you wouldn't give a fuck.
Well, yeah. See, that's the funny line that you got to dance, like, because I had my best performances when I wasn't concerned about winning or losing, I was just concerned about like the moment, like just having fun in the moment. Those were my best performances. Then the flip side, when I look back at it, I would lose fights when I was too focused on winning or too stubborn on one direction. And if the fight was going bad like this way, I wouldn't adjust because I wasn't in the moment. So it's a very strange line you got to dance as a competitor of being like, free and in the moment and relaxed, and going hard in the moment to win. So it's like, man, it's a beautiful dance, the fight business.
Oh, when I lost in high school wrestling, I wouldn't leave my dorm room for like 3 weeks.
Right. Bro, I cried in front of Stipe Miocic.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking cried
when
like
was
a
that?
motherfucker. My last UFC fight, I just fucking cried right in the back. But, you got to, like.
What does Stipe do?
He fucking went out there and beat the guy's ass. Like, he won his fight that night. But in the locker room, man, I came back. And it's funny because, I haven't cried in like fucking forever. And I'm talking through Jailhouse, through this, that. And sometimes I was like, man, I wish I could cry because it's so cathartic. Like, you feel better. You just cry. And then you fucking stand up, wipe your face, and okay, I'm better now. And that's what I did. Eat a hamburger and go about your day.
Right.
But it's like a very difficult thing to do, especially in our culture where, you're supposed to be manly and never show emotion and whatever. But look, that's for the birds, to have that release and catharsis. It can help you to move on.
Does Stipe come up to you and like put his arm around you?
Yeah.
Did he really?
No. No, he had business to do. I didn't expect him. I even, I hid in my corner to be away from everybody. Leave me the fuck alone. And hey, that's just the reality of the fight life. If you really care and really like want to try to win your fights and try to, if you're a competitor, of course you put a lot into you put your whole life into fighting. That's why, I understand those guys. It's hard for me to promote a fight because I understand that every guy on the card is putting everything into it. Because if you're not, it's hard to do this job. Yeah, it's hard to do that job if you're just,
whatever,
not worried about it.
Yeah, even as a coach, if a kid isn't upset that he lost, that's when there's a problem.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a kid cry or do whatever. Now, do you see the Ross Pearson knockout? Can we bring that up?
Bring it up.
Ross Pearson is no longer in the UFC. I think he was fighting in, I don't know if this is Cage Warriors. I'm not really sure what organization, but I've never seen anything like this. So play it. What is this, Mayhem? Like, can you do this?
I already know what this is.
Watch this.
I've done this in practice.
Hold on. So he's fighting this guy. Third round.
Under that
Okay.
spinning heel kick.
Yada, yada, yada. All right.
Both guys look pretty damn tired.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Rolling Thunder, man.
I told you there's a name for it.
Yeah.
Now, how do you do that? What is that?
Yeah. There's some, I ran into this. This is like a technique that's like, I think it's from Hapkido or something, like officially. But yeah, it's a rolling thunder kick. You do a forward roll and you're trying to aim. I even trained this near like the end of my career where you stand back from the bag and step up and then just you kind of do it like a shoulder roll, but then you leave one leg behind. And if you can land your heel on his face, you knock that dude the fuck out just like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And look, I like Ross Pearson. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's
big
great.
Fan, but maybe it's time. I mean,
look, bro, you can't knock the guy for busting out a sweet ass move.
No, of course, but fuck, man. I guess it's hard to go out like this, right? I mean,
Yeah.
We'll see him in BKFC.
How do you even prepare for this?
I mean, in practice one time, this dude tried to do that on me. You just step out the way, really. I mean, you gotta identify that it's coming. But he didn't even know this was coming. Yeah, look at it. He wasn't ready for that. He didn't know that was a move in this guy's arsenal. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what was that? Yeah, he still doesn't know. Yeah. So,
Oh man, poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, look, the MMA needs some shit like that, you know, and that's a bummer that Pearson had to go out like that. But dude, you got to give props to that guy for digging deep into his tool belt and busting that one out.
50 seconds to go in third round. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks nobody's talking about that guy, you know?
Yeah,
Everybody's just talking about Ross Pearson getting knocked the fuck out.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Gallon?
What? Gannon?
Gallon, like a gallon of gas, a gallon of ass whipping.
Oh man.
Ass whooping.
Yeah,
Gallon and a
that
half.
was hard to watch
Fuck.
though. So is Gastelum logged on? No? All right, so we'll just keep going. Kelvin missed weight for this podcast. All right, so now other fights that went on. Paul Craig took on Shogun. That fight, I thought Shogun won. I don't know how they called it a draw. And Shogun lost the first round, won the second, and won the third, except for like the last 20 seconds, and they made it a draw. It made no sense to me. Did you watch it?
Nah, I didn't watch
Did
it.
anybody watch the fight?
I watched it.
Who did you think won?
Well, I had money on Paul Craig
Yeah.
in my parlay, so I was biased. I thought he won the third round. But I could have seen it gone either way, to be honest. You know, 2 judges gave it for each of them.
Okay, so Gastelum's ready, by the way. And then Randy Brown beat Warley Alves.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a shocker.
I called that.
You called
Really?
that?
Yeah.
Warley
He's
Alves
not
is
on
the
the
one guy to beat Colby Covington. He won the Ultimate Fighter. He's had an up and down career. Randy Brown's a kid they picked from Dana White's looking for a fight. He got starched by a bunch of guys. Bilal Muhammad beat the shit out of him.
Yep.
And then he also got against that one guy from Florida that hammer fisted from the bottom.
Nico Price.
You ever see this happen there?
Dude.
You see that fight? Nico Price. Can we look up Nico Price versus Randy Brown right before we get to Kelvin real quick? Because this another one of these things where I'm like, I didn't even know these moves were out there. Have you ever get caught in a move where you're like, where the fuck did that come from?
Nah, man. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I've seen all the variation. I mean, look, I'm sure there's shit out there that I've never seen before, but for the most part.
So we could show up Nico Price, Kelvin Gastelum, because I love showing you stuff like this. Because, he was. It looked like Nico.
pretty fucking
And Nico
quick.
Price won his last fight by the up kick that James Vick. So
Yeah,
this
I
guy's
remember
the
that.
king of winning from the bottom, which normally they say don't pull guard.
Yeah.
Not a great move. But unless you're Nico Price.
I want to see
If you
this.
have- yeah, if
what
you have
was
a
the
great
technique?
guard.
Describe
my
it
man
to
Gage,
me.
by the way. So he was caught in a triangle. What was it?
He had an underhook on one arm, almost like a side control.
From
and he
the
had-
bottom.
Yeah, from the bottom. Butterfly hook across his face.
Yeah.
And he used the butterfly hook to pull his head in and did
Hammer
fist
fist.
from the bottom.
Oh yeah. You know what?
It was
These are
nasty.
variations of stuff. That's really good to be inventive like that. It sounds like this dude is, making up his own moves kind of, and that everyone you don't remember that every once in a while we see guys who improvise, who have some specialized skills that only they can do. The way you coach a guy is okay, you show him all the basics, right? Keep your hands up, chin down. But then once you master all this stuff, you can break the rules. You can bend them at first, and then some guys can just completely break the rules,
That's what people were saying about Fedor striking.
Yeah, exactly. He breaks the rules. His weird, you know what I mean?
it's like
swinging from his
jalopy,
damn. Yeah, so it looks like that ain't gonna work, but it works for him. There's always these outliers who can do techniques that aren't really, they don't look like they're technical moves, but they work for him.
You were an outlier in jiu-jitsu, correct?
Yeah, I did weird stuff. Yeah, I would do weird techniques that, they're run of the mill to me, but other people, didn't do them.
I love seeing stuff like that.
It's
But it's hard as a coach sometimes because, especially when, coaching even middle school, where a kid's getting away with something, but you're like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna, and it just keeps working.
And middle school is different though because the dudes aren't physically developed to a point where they're so strong that goofy stuff doesn't work. I coached with you at that one tournament. I was cracking up because I was like, no, don't turn your head. Never mind. That
Yeah,
worked.
Yeah.
Like, how did he just get 2 points? Yeah.
My favorite-
These are apples and oranges. These are oranges and bananas.
Yeah.
These are oranges and kiwis. I don't even know what the hell I'm
My
talking
favorite thing is the wrong side double leg. That seems to work
no,
every
the
time.
worst is
where
when
they
you're on
just drag
bottom.
them down like. Ah!
Okay, so we got Kelvin Gastelum. We'll talk to Kelvin.
about.
Right
Hell yeah.
now. What's up, Kelvin Gastelum? How are you, man?
That hair.
Is he looking at us through this one? Kelvin. Oh, I got to.
Put your damn
Sorry
headphones
about
on.
that. Thanks.
Can you guys hear me? Can you see
How are
me?
you, brother?
Barely.
Good. Can we get the volume up? The volume's a little weird. So we're talking to one of the best fighters in the UFC. He was top 2 at 185, top 2 at 170. He
Not
proved
good
everybody
enough.
wrong. Everyone's like, he's not going to be able to make it at 185. He knocked out Bisping.
Hell yeah.
He beat Jacare,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
you couldn't do, Mayhem. And now I don't. Where are you? You're in Florida. How are you, man? What's going on?
I'm in Miami Beach, man.
Nice. I'm gonna see you tomorrow at the Miami Improv. I'm gonna be there tomorrow night. So are you taking a
was my-
vacation? What's going on?
That was my Scarface impersonation. Miami Beach, man. Anyway.
Can we get volume on this? Is there something? Joe, help me.
He said Miami Beach, man.
Miami Beach, man.
All right. How's the volume? Are we Gage? Thank you, man.
You guys can hear me
Gage,
well or
rescue.
no?
All right. Here we go. Kelvin, talk for a sec.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, that's better. Right, it's better. All right. Talking to Kelvin
Yeah.
Gastelum. So you're taking a vacation?
I'm out in Miami Beach, brother, having a little time to myself before I head back to work.
Good. Now, did your girlfriend graduate high school? Is that what you're celebrating?
You asshole. Yeah, no.
Yeah, by the way, he has like a girlfriend in college. She's smoking hot. But she's got to be like what,
She
21?
graduated years ago.
She shows up to your fights wearing her sorority letters and stuff.
She just so young, but she graduated years ago. But actually, I got a confession to make. Her and I split up a few months ago, like 2 months ago. Yeah.
What happened? Was it because she's dating Darren Till now? Is that what happened? Or,
I think so, man. No,
Fuck.
she's a good girl.
Damn. All right. So you're in Miami, just rocking Cuban vagina right now. You're probably going crazy.
Well, I met up with Henry out here. I met up with Kamaru out here, and we're just having a good time. Well, Kamaru's in training, but Henry and I are having a good time.
You and Henry Cejudo. Do people think that you're his dad?
We pass for brothers.
Okay, I like it. Now, I had money on you in that last fight. I'm not gonna ask like someone asked Nate Diaz like, hey, pay my rent because I like blew my rent on your thing. I was like,
Shoot.
dude, was it one of those things you just couldn't get started? Yeah, of course. Was it something where you just couldn't get started against Till?
Yeah, man, I just felt flat. I don't know if Mayhem has ever felt like that. I don't know. Fight Night, just fucking flat and just not on, at all. And just
You think maybe
not at all.
maybe a little bit of overtraining, or like what are you going to do different on the next one? I mean, you got to learn from that, right?
Right. And I just think it's a lot of things that I could have done better during fight week. Maybe rest a little bit more, not train as much, and maybe not cut as much weight. This time we cut it close. And I think it all affected me, and it kind of felt flat, just real flat. And not my night, man. I don't even feel like I lost to Darren Till. It's not like I got destroyed or flattened by him. It's just not my night that night.
No, of course. Now,
But man, I've already got 2020 mapped out, bro. I'm so excited for what's to come, man. I'm recharging right now here in Florida, as you can see. But 2020 is already mapped out, and I'm planning a big year ahead.
Now, you were a state champ wrestler. You're a great wrestler. In that third round, you went for a takedown, but there was like 20 seconds left. Do you kind of wish that you kind of went for the takedown earlier?
Yeah. I mean, I just wish I could have been on my shit that night more. I mean, I just wasn't on my game that night. I really, it's a sucky feeling that I never want to feel again.
Well, people always say like, hey man, Kelvin Gastelum in the gym, he shows up late. The girls beat him. Everyone fucks him up. But then when it's fight time, you just knock everyone out. I mean, you're just a different fighter fight time. But maybe it was just an aberration. It was a one-time thing. It was something where it was just, hey, sometimes this is the first time that ever happened to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, just felt fucking flat and just not on, and it was really weird. I never felt like that in a fight, and I don't ever want to feel that again.
Well, I mean, you're right there, man. Now, what happened on the scale? Because they said that you were your coach like leaned forward or something.
Yeah.
And you got in trouble. Like, what exactly happened?
Yeah. Well, I guess my coach got a little too close, overlooking the scale there, and I didn't even notice that he was right behind me. I was just focused on making the weight.
Lifted you up by the ass.
That's what they said.
This guy.
Now,
But
you got like in trouble, or like now you can't go back to New York? Like, what happened?
No, I got a little fine for doing that misconduct and
for scale tampering. It's hilarious.
For beating the system.
Now at 170, like, because you were having a tough time making 170, but you could make 170. You won the Ultimate Fighter at 170.
185,
right?
sorry.
Oh, 85, but you used to fight at 170. But then this time you had a tough time making 85. Like, did you get up to like 230, 240? I'm being serious.
I did get really heavy after my fight with Israel in April. I took a really long time off just because I wanted my body to heal up, and I took myself away from training completely for like 2 months, and I did get up pretty heavy,
Is it your mom? I think this is your mom's fault, because your mom keeps making you, right? Your mom makes you those like burritos and the this and that and all that Mexican food. Like, you tell your mom
Unfortunately, I don't hang out with my mom that much anymore because of that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, mom with the quesadilla.
And then, but then your girlfriend was a nutritionist, and then you broke up with her, and then you gained 40 pounds.
It's her fault.
Did you break up with her for Aunt Jemima? Like, who the fuck did you like? Did she have stuff to do with this?
No. I just feel like it was my fault, in my time off. I gained too much weight, and then I had, this time I had a little bit of trouble.
How much weight did you cut? Oh, how much weight did you cut the week out? Sorry to cut you off there, bud, but how much weight did you cut the week out?
The week of 15, which I don't really ever do that much.
Yeah.
Actually, in most of my fights at 85, I'm walking at 85.
Yeah, it seems like that could definitely affect your conditioning, bro. 15 pounds in a week, that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
You also been knocking everybody out. And do you think maybe you kind of fell in love with your power?
Maybe. Yeah. I was pretty confident that I was going to knock him out, but out there and look like shit. So, yeah, maybe.
So was I, because like your boxing is on point. He was a Golden Glove boxer.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't know Kelvin's story, because I know you've been away for a while. So
thanks, bud.
So Kelvin graduated high school, was like the 8th seed in the state tournament, won the states, right? Then he goes to college. He misses his mom. He's like, I miss my mom. I want to be home. Drops out, becomes a bail bondsman.
Oh yeah.
And starts boxing.
Nice.
Becomes a Golden Glove boxer. Then he goes on The Ultimate Fighter. He's the last pick. Everyone's like, oh, this guy, this fat, chubby Mexican. Like, come on. He wins The Ultimate Fighter. Beats Uriah Hall in the finals. Fucks up Uriah Hall. Then he beats the next 5 guys. Then Tim Kennedy, he misses weight in New York City for Donald Cerrone. Everyone fucking abandons him but me. I call him up because I like blocked my number and he like picked up. Right? So then we became friends. He fights Tim Kennedy. Yeah. Kennedy's like, I'm going to teach him a lesson. He beats the fuck out of Tim Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Then Bisping loses to GSP. Yeah. Bisping says, all right, I'm going to fight Kelvin to get my mojo back. He knocks fucking Bisping out, right? Yeah. Which is crazy. Then he fights Israel. Everyone's like, oh, Israel's going to fuck him up. This is style bender. It's 2-2 going into the 5th. Yeah. And it was a real close one. He almost won, but Israel got him. I gotta say. It was very, very close. So now he fights Darren Till, and I'm like, here we are. right? Am I right? Pretty much a good assessment of your life so far?
I mean, some of your facts are a little skewed, but yeah.
Hey, that's Adam Hunter, bro. Welcome to the show, MMA Roasted. Yeah, he always does that.
Basically, yeah, you're on the money, basically.
Yeah. He also chokes out Jake Ellenberger in 1 round.
Nice.
I mean,
that's tough.
I mean, he's been fucking everybody up. Yeah.
So what do they got on the deck for you in 2020, bud? I can't wait to see your next fight, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I don't have an opponent lined up yet. I'm targeting maybe fighting around March. I want to make sure my holidays I get to eat a little bit.
Yo, don't blow up to 255, all right, bro?
No,
we don't want to see you a heavyweight, all right?
No, that was a learn, man. That's a learn. I'm going to take it easy this
But the
season,
body's good, though. You're healthy, right? Everything's good. All right.
Healthy,
Good.
brother. Healthy.
All right.
Now I know that I know you got mad at Rogan or somebody during the fight. They said that you called Darren Till a stepping stone, and then you tweeted out like, "Hey, media is full of shit. I never called anyone a stepping stone." And then someone then played the tape of you calling him a stepping stone.
Who are you, Donald Trump?
it was like Maury. Like, let's go to the tape. And then you wrote, "Oh, my bad."
Awesome. Oh, man.
Like, Jamie, pull that shit out.
Did you not remember? Did you not remember calling him a stepping stone?
And nobody remembers what they say on the promos.
Yeah.
No.
Hell yeah.
But that wasn't even my point.
Hey, man, connect the Wi-Fi.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, what was your point?
The point was that there's so much control media has over influence, and you know, I thought I had said something, or I thought I had not something, and the media has so much influence that if they say that I said something, everybody's gonna believe it, you know?
Right.
But when you say something, everybody's
But
going to
I did
report
say
it.
it. But I did say it.
Maybe you should have stayed in college.
Maybe you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You just fucked up.
It's okay, man. Look, Kelvin, you are the most likable human being I've ever met. Like,
and handsome too.
You're one of these guys that and you're a loyal dude, man. Like, you're a loyal guy. Like, you're one of those dudes. Like, he came to my. We were in Vegas, and he came to my hotel room to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And I fucked it up. The sound was beyond horrible, and it kept dying. And he just sat there like the nicest. He's such a nice guy, man.
Oh, he was just reliving being a bail bondsman, sitting there on his hands, waiting for somebody to come out the house.
Yeah.
You're lucky I like you, brother. You're lucky I like you.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Now, have you been? Are you on Tinder or Bumble or?
Grinder?
I am.
Uber Eats?
You know what? I haven't been on that in years.
Uber Eats.
What? No more. You are on Tinder or Bumble?
No, I haven't been on that in years.
Come on, bro.
embarrassed now
Facebook
these
is
days.
his Tinder, bro. This guy is on top of the world. He's banging whoever he feels like.
Instagram?
There you go.
Why are you always interested in everybody's sex life, man?
I don't know.
Always.
Because yours is so sparse?
Yeah, because I'm going to yell that for going to strip clubs. So,
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
so you're hanging
All
out
right,
with Cejudo.
guys. Bro, I'm sorry to cut you, but I actually have to take off in a little bit.
Okay.
There's some hot
Did the
chicks
pizza
waiting
come?
Yeah. The pizza's waiting for me at the door.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow night at the Miami Improv.
Yes, sir. We'll see
Thanks,
you tomorrow,
Kelvin.
brother.
Thank
Y'all
you.
take care, gentlemen. Good talking to
See
you.
ya, brother.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Hell yeah, that dude's fucking living life right now.
Yeah.
No, he lost that fight, but whatever. You know what I mean? He'll be back. He's like a great competitor.
Yeah.
So it's good to see him doing good, man. It's like, that's awesome.
And then he's never been dominated. Like, he's never been even.
No, because he has a
Well,
good base of skills. He's got the wrestling. He's got, good boxing. It's difficult to, crack that nut. A guy that has those skills in particular, boxing and wrestling together, is
he's a
very
black belt in
difficult to
jiu-jitsu.
just smash it. Dude.
Under 10th planet, right?
Yeah, he's a black belt.
Oh,
Planet, I
that
think,
makes
yeah.
sense. So he has a well-rounded game.
I just
killer.
the thing about him though is I get nervous about him being undersized because Till looks so much bigger than
Well,
him.
yeah.
Till's
he
fucking
fought
oversized.
at 70, and now he's walking around at 85.
But according to
Till
Mike
should be a
Dolce, he
205er,
could make 55. According to Dolce,
How tall is he? I don't even know.
dude, he's like
6
5.
feet.
No, he's not.
Till?
No, Kelvin.
Oh, Kelvin.
He's like
5'10".
5'9".
Oh, really?
I mean, you see him, you're like, how is this
But
guy?
he's like a muscle truck kind of dude. Yeah, he
But
puts on
kinda
a lot
fat,
of muscle.
like-
He's just a.
It's like Nacho
block.
Libre.
He's just
Oh,
a block. He's
regular
one of
guy?
those dudes that's just like heavy, but you don't know why. You know, you're like,
Dense.
where is it?
bone.
He's just fucking dense.
And he hits a lot harder than you think.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he knocked out. He fought Weidman, and the fight was almost over in the first.
I
Because,
saw that, yeah.
And then Weidman came back and submitted him because Weidman's so much bigger than him.
Yeah.
But he can knock out anybody. I mean, Bisping definitely did not expect to get knocked out by him.
The speed difference too. Like if a guy's walking around a little bit lighter and like naturally smaller, like I'd rather fight a bigger dude than a smaller dude because my style complements that. Because if a guy like I fight dudes where I'm usually, if I'm faster, it's like better for me.
Right.
But like when a guy is smaller and faster, it's like more difficult because the guy can just
So
take
you'd rather
corners
fight
quick.
like
I'd rather fight heavyweight than damn.
So you'd rather fight Tim Kennedy than like, or like you'd rather fight Rampage and Tim Kennedy?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, because I'm faster, so that way, like, I can move my head, move out the way. Well, and yeah, sure, that it's more dangerous to fight a heavier guy because if he does land something, it's like a doink, and you could get knocked out. But the smaller guy can pick you apart. It's like I used to spar with the dude who was like Olympic. He was training for the Olympics, Olympic boxer. Dude was like 145, and bro, it was just like fighting a bumblebee. Yeah. It's like so annoying because I could get him with the good big one, but he could hit me with 3 and then move. It's more. It's more difficult. It's like that's the interesting thing is
with wrestling, it was like the opposite. You always want to get lighter. You always think but then
but even jiu-jitsu too, it's easier to like scramble against a bigger guy.
Big slow guy. Yeah. You want a big strong slow guy more than like your weight.
Takedowns only, you're right. Takedowns only, it really helps to be bigger. But, when you're scrambling around on the ground, there's
is that because someone's neck, though, too? It's like, so it doesn't matter how big you are. You get someone's neck, you get someone's neck.
There you go. Yeah. Something like
and
that.
it's easier to get
Speaking
a big
of which, Bob, before we go, so I don't know if you know this, but so Bo Nickel, who's a world champion wrestler, he's like basically the modern version of Ben Askren, but better.
Bo Nickel?
Bo Nickel. This guy wrestled for, I believe, Penn State. Big, tall, lengthy guy, 3-time NCAA national champion.
Bo Nickel.
Bo Nickel.
Bro, I'm liking this guy's name. Does he have a first name or is he just Bo Nickel?
And he does,
his name is Bo Nickel.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, Bo Nickel. Man, I hope he got that Twitter.
He does these weird things. Like, if we look up Bo Nickel NCAA finals, he does these things where you're just like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, he basically this
He's
dude
a funk wrestler.
had him pinned, and he just like under from the back threw the guy and pinned him. You're just
a
like,
beast.
you're just like, how is this happening?
Beast.
And then he says things like, "Oh, I do that all the time in practice."
Yeah.
But you let guys pin you, so he is like right now the it guy in wrestling, in the wrestling community.
How have I missed Bo Nickel? I go through the Reddit wrestling. I haven't seen him yet.
So he.
Okay, I'm gonna research this guy and get back to you. Sounds like an awesome dude just from his name alone.
So he accepted a grappling match against
Gordon Ryan.
Gordon Ryan. You know who Gordon Ryan is?
Faintly.
So he's now the world champion. I don't follow jiu-jitsu.
Just won ADCCs. He's 2-time
That's why I know
ADCC
him.
gold medalist.
Okay.
IBJJF Worlds.
Fuck yeah.
He also does
also another beat.
And he doesn't look like
everything.
the typical jiu-jitsu guy. Like, he's shredded, right? He's a big,
It's like 230.
Looks like the
athlete.
Hulk.
All right, when is this going down? That sounds
December
interesting.
7th.
They're having a grappling match.
Where?
December 7th, I think. It's
And
going to be on Flow Grappling, but it's like a jiu-jitsu rules.
But
no leg locks.
But no leg locks.
Oh, okay.
But I don't see how Bo Nickel can win because he's not a jiu-jitsu guy.
What do you mean? Take the guy down, back out of his guard. Take the guy down. That's probably going to be the strategy. When I coached guys who just know wrestling, we go, "Nah, you're not going to do jiu-jitsu. You're going to make this a wrestling match."
Right.
That's the strategy. In practice, that's hard, especially against a top-level jiu-jitsu guy. It's going to be really difficult to avoid.
To just get back out of his guard.
It's hard.
When there's no strikes allowed.
Exactly.
But according to Gordon Ryan, right, they're going to have a wrestling match afterwards or something?
He said this something along the lines of, I understand that this is a very like jiu-jitsu heavy rule set, so we're gonna do another one.
You think?
We're gonna do another one that's a wrestling heavy rule set.
Well, I don't.
But it's all like,
to me, it's like these MMA guys that want to go into boxing. Like, you're not going to win. Like, Masvidal called out Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
It's a money grab.
Tyron Woodley called out Alvarez.
Good. It's a money grab. Yeah, make some money.
Now, are they thinking like, okay, it's basically a win-win because if I lose in this guy's skill set.
Yeah.
And if I win, I get $30 million.
No,
so
is that if you lose, you get $30 million.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't see any boxers. If the dynamic were switched where, the MMA, like if UFC would spread some money around and like, get Canelo Alvarez to do jiu-jitsu, I'd like to see him get double legged through the ceiling and then fucking choked unconscious.
Well, how about James Toney?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or, Mayorga.
That's what I'm saying. Because the skills don't translate. And it's the same thing. Like, if you spend your whole life boxing, you're going to be much better at boxing.
Of course.
And for the, MMA, look, MMA guys are fearless. They're not scared to box.
Right.
Do they have the skills to hang? Nah, probably not. But, I mean, if they're going to go make some money, hats off to them.
No, I get it, but even with this Bo Nickel thing, I'm like, where he's just gonna make wrestlers look bad in some ways because he's probably gonna get choked out pretty quick.
Look at Askren versus Maya. It's pretty much like the same scenario, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and as a wrestler, I want to see the wrestling guy win.
And Askren has a
you're so racist, bro.
Yeah.
You're racist against jiu-jitsu guys.
Well, unless Bo is training jiu-jitsu, I don't see how he wins.
Hey,
this.
our cauliflower ears are just as earned.
Why wouldn't he train jiu-jitsu?
Because
I'd be happy to help him out.
But he's a college champion. I mean,
he's gonna train in jiu-jitsu
for what? 2 months?
Yeah.
And he's gonna do
2 months, 2 weeks. It's in like 2 weeks.
I mean, unless he's already training in jiu-jitsu, which I don't think he is.
Nah.
I
went to like Penn State and wrestled with those guys. They just whooped my ass like pretty
You did?
good.
That's where he's from.
And then, oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I went to Lehigh up there and I wrestled with all the guys. And I got a couple takedowns every once in a while, but like mostly I just got fucking demolished.
What year
but then at the end of practice, we did jiu-jitsu and I just strangled everybody. And it was,
When was this in your life?
This is like, I don't know, 2010 or something.
So you were
like that.
going with like it was before like Phil Davis with those guys. It was after they had gone.
It was they knew Phil, so it was like around that time, but he wasn't there.
Because I remember those two guys were hiding out in your house.
Yeah.
Pat Cummings and Eric Bradley were two guys that went to Penn State and they were national finalists. I mean, Pat I think came in second.
They were badasses.
Badass guys. Eric Bradley was the best guy I've ever actually trained with. And like I actually was like, I've never felt so helpless wrestling somebody before.
Yeah, he's a beast. Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't make it very far in MMA is like, whoa, that was eye-opening.
He had a really tough time adjusting. You know what I mean? He had a tough time. Like he kind of was set in his ways. A lot of guys who come from wrestling, if you're set in your ways, it's difficult to adapt. Like you have to like be relaxed to like and understand to change your stance and like become like evolve in a different way. But if you're stuck like this is the way I'm going to do my double leg,
right?
It's going to be difficult to adapt and become a top MMA player.
So these two guys went back to Penn State, like alumni, and robbed a bunch of frat houses as a joke. Pat Cummings and Eric Bradley, not like two regular guys. So now they're on the run for the law and staying at Mayhem's house. And like,
not a bad place to stay at the time.
So I remember that like you were harboring fugitives.
Look, man.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? I'm not gonna make any excuses for my conduct, okay? But they were my buddies. They needed somewhere to stay.
Yeah, no, of course. Can we bring up Bo Nickel NCAA Finals? Gage, thanks for being so cool, by the way. So, because I want to show you this crazy sweep. So, all right, we're jumping around a little bit, but okay, here we go. I think this was it. Bo Nickel, Miles Martin. Yeah, right here. So he's #1 guy. Watch this. So he could put on his back.
Yeah.
See, there's where a butterfly.
No, that's totally a jiu-jitsu, bro.
Yeah, but that's really that's like bad white belt.
I do that all the time, though.
That's in the NCAA Finals.
Listen,
against
bro,
the #2 guy in the world.
That wasn't.
Country.
He wasn't even in my.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
I mean, if he actually had the butterfly hook in, it would have worked a little better.
No, that worked just fine. He used his knee on his cock. It was perfect. But I mean, that guy was not expecting that. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that was insane. You know, that wasn't impressive to you guys to do that again.
To me, that looked like jiu-jitsu.
That's exactly what I would do.
I mean, it was impressive for sure. He had an underhook. He had like kind of a guillotine type position, but because he had this underhook here, look, somebody broke this down. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I would call this a guillotine, but he has his underhook and guillotine, and then because he lands underneath him, the fulcrum is the guy's butt and his knee. So he like threw him up over. That was pretty awesome. Is it impressive to get this in such a top level wrestling?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Definitely, but at the same time, you know, this is like a jiu-jitsu guy would have like sat back, sprawled out, and not fell for this. More likely. Yeah. Top level jiu-jitsu guy would.
They're just gonna drop to their knees. When you feel that foot,
I always feel like when I'm rolling with jiu-jitsu guys, my top pressure is better than their top pressure because maybe.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
because your top pressure is just top pressure.
Yeah, if I feel
there's no threat of submission or any passing.
If I feel like a butterfly hook, this is kind of a modified butterfly hook. If I feel a modified butterfly hook, I will bail out backwards and just flop. So that way I don't see his center of gravity right now. His center of gravity, his hips are right over top of this butterfly hook. He expected to go around to the right and like end up. You know, he expected that Bo. He expected Bo to belly out.
Yeah.
Bo said, "Fuck that! I'm going to try this butterfly hook sweep," and it worked. I mean, whatever the hell he called it.
So you're saying the guy helped Bo by putting all that pressure?
Yeah,
absolutely. That's what got him that move.
He didn't respond like a jiu-jitsu man. He responded like a wrestler.
Right.
You know, that worked in his favor. You're right. It is a super impressive technique. But like I said, in jiu-jitsu, the guys are ready for this.
Like right now, he's getting his back taken by Gordon Ryan, and he's going to get choked.
Exactly. And right, see how Martin is high right here? Why? There's no way. You'd be sprawling back if you're doing jiu-jitsu.
But I've seen wrestling kids do this, like middle school kids, like that kid last year, just basically not as technical as this, but not at this level. Not the number 2 guy in the country. I mean, to me, that's like, that was insane. I mean, that guy. This guy's probably a 4-time state champion wrestler. Yeah. A 3-time finalist. Yeah. You know.
See, but like I said, jiu-jitsu man would never be butt high like this. Why? Yeah. Why? I'm not trying to get. You know.
If he knew what he was doing right now, he would be sprawling.
Yeah.
He'd be sprawling.
If he realized.
His right leg windshield wiping over his knees.
Yeah, it's one of those things where dudes are like, it's just a different. Like when a guy breaks the rules of conventional wrestling, see how he high kneed him?
That's impressive.
When a guy breaks the rules of conventional wrestling, you don't expect it. That's why these techniques are so beautiful. That's why we're talking about it, is because this guy broke the conventional rules of wrestling and did a technique that just blew our head off.
But Bo Nickal says he planned this.
Yeah.
There's no way he planned this.
Yeah, he did.
When he felt that single leg happen, it was already done.
No, there's no way he went to his back on purpose.
Yes.
He got put on his back.
No, the guy,
dude.
No, he just knows this technique.
That's high-level grappling.
You really think that Bo Nickal let this guy put him on his back?
I'm certain.
He didn't put him on his back. Bo Nickal sat down.
He didn't.
He sits down with a butterfly hook.
2-point takedown, the guy on top. He's not giving up a 2-point takedown to get him to take him.
No, he already fucked up, and the guy had him deep and was almost taking him down. So instead of just bailing out and flopping on his belly and giving up the 2, he did this sit-down butterfly hook technique. What are you not getting through your head? People like. He didn't just pull this out his ass. He practiced that move, and then when it came up, he did.
I do that every day.
So maybe he does do jiu-jitsu, Bo Nickal.
Well, he definitely does something similar.
I don't think he understands grappling more than he understands wrestling. I don't think
people are putting him on his back in wrestling practice.
For sure they are. What do you mean? Look, when you wrestle a guy, like for me, like I would always work, like even now, like when I'm going with a guy who, you know, he's good, but he's not fucking awesome, I'll put myself in terrible positions and then work my way out, or
the coach will put you in those positions. Like when we put like one guy has this, one guy has on his back, start wrestling. Yeah, it just this guy is such a high level wrestler. It's hard to believe that he's getting in that position that often.
Well, I mean, but he's not. going to practice every day and smashing everybody. He's working techniques. And I think the reason that he is such a high wrestler is because he works different stuff like this. He might let a guy who's not as good as old Martin right there to put him in a bad position and then get his, work his way out of that.
Yeah.
And so he definitely has trained that technique. He didn't just make it up on the spot.
Of course.
He definitely drilled that a bunch of times. And then when it came up in this match, he summoned it and made it happen.
It was very impressive. The place went ballistic.
Yeah, that was badass. Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the. By the way, I felt bad. My man, first of all, James Krause won. Super happy for him. Because, you got to leave?
I got to go.
All right. James Krause, by the way, is one of these guys.
Stupid word.
He's out of Missouri. Just a great human being. Like his sister or someone in his family has like kids that are like on drugs or something happened. Someone was on drugs. He took them in. He's just a good human being. He's one of those guys where I'm like, I'd love to be like a guy like James Krause. Yeah. But on the flip side, another guy who I really like, Jared Gordon, who former heroin addict, hooked on drugs, then when some kind of injury, they put him on painkillers while he was under, hooked on drugs again.
Damn.
Now in the UFC, was like 11-1 going into the UFC, and just got starched by
Charles
Oliveira, which sucked.
Yeah.
But Oliveira then called out McGregor. Which,
he did?
Yeah, he's like, Conor McGregor. And I'm like, McGregor's not fighting you. Like,
yeah, well, everybody's trying to get some money.
Yeah,
you can't blame them.
No, but at the same time, call out someone that you think that they're actually going to put you up against. Like, I don't see that.
He's 145, right? Oliveira?
I think he's 55.
55?
Yeah.
I think he deserves like a top tier opponent. Because he's on like a 11 fight winning streak or something like that. All by knockouts.
I don't think 11 fight, but yeah.
Yeah, how are you going to hate on the guy for trying to, punch up?
Of course I don't hate on him. I just think that realistically, McGregor, if he does come back, they're putting him up against a Nate Diaz trilogy fight or a Khabib.
What is
or
McGregor
Masvidal.
doing? Is he just spending some money, huh? He's just hanging out?
He's a guy that like,
is he saying he's going to fight again? Because,
according to Twitter.
Oh, great.
Can't wait to come back, and he's talking about Khabib and how much Khabib sucks and this and that. But Khabib killed him. I mean, beat him pretty bad.
I mean, yeah. But Khabib, I was thinking about it recently, and I think I'm on the Khabib hype train for sure. But I did see some glaring flaws in the striking. Everybody talks about his striking is good too. I think his striking complements his wrestling, which that's the smartest way to fight when you're such a dominant wrestler. But if he tries to, strike with if he ends up in a striking battle with McGregor can win. Like, I don't think Khabib's striking is that developed really. It's just like I said, it's smart the way he punches in order to wrestle. But if he hangs out there too long, have a whole Ronda Rousey kind of complex,
Well, I heard it was talking about Khabib Ferguson in March.
Listen, it's about time. I've been campaigning for that fight forever. Tony Ferguson needs to fight him.
Who do you think wins?
Oof. You know what? I'll say Ferguson. Ferguson has a way better shot than everyone's giving Khabib. I mean, giving him. I think that it definitely can happen.
But he gets hurt a lot in his fights. Ferguson.
Yeah.
He's one of these guys that gets hurt, comes back, gets hurt, comes back. If he gets hurt, will Khabib let him come back?
Yeah. You know what? That's a good. I want to see how things develop, because if it really happens in March, I'm going to be excited. I'll be watching that one.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
It's about damn time.
Now, bare knuckle boxing. You watch this?
No, I saw some highlights.
First of all, your ex-training partner is now the new champion.
Oh, yeah?
Joey Beltran.
Awesome.
Is the heavyweight champion of bare knuckle boxing.
Well,
he
makes
beat
sense.
Chase Sherman, and he said this is the most important fight in his life. He was crying, and it was a great fight.
Beltran's awesome. I'm glad he's doing good, man. That's cool.
You guys used to spar together, right?
Yeah.
What was he like in sparring?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Spar.
Yeah. He used to spar. But I give him a lot. He said that he's always had something going on in his life, and not to make excuses, yada yada. But he really trained for this, and all the, there were so many times that, should we still do this? Should we quit? This and that. So good for him. He beat Chase Sherman, who's a good. And Jason Knight, who they call him Hick Diaz. This guy, there's a video of him beating up two guys in a bathroom stall that came out last week.
Hot.
I guess he said he was taking a piss, and someone was crying about his girlfriend, and he made a joke, and they came to the stall, and then he started punching these two guys.
Who is filming in a toilet? Like, what the hell kind of toilet is this guy hanging out at? Was it a webcam or something? Like, he was in
One of the other guys that was like trying to punch him. He beat up two guys.
He was filming and punching? The guy only had one hand, so the other guy's hand was on his dick taking a piss.
The guy behind those two guys. Hick Diaz. So you know about this guy, Artem Lobov?
Yeah.
So they call him the GOAT because he was like 14-14 in the UFC or MMA. Nice. And now he beat Paul Malignaggi in bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, I remember.
So he beat Lobov. This was the rematch. And it was a good fight. But Knight won. And then afterwards, can we pull up the prayer session that happened? He held the prayer session in a bare knuckle boxing ring, which was, my wife loved it because she's a big Christian. It did, but the YouTube comments were fucking hilarious. Of like, yeah, Jesus sanctions guys to punch without gloves. Like this is what God's all about. Like if you want to laugh, look at the bare knuckle boxing. So this was Jason Knight. After he won, and I like Knight. He even says after he in the UFC partied too much and fucked around, had girlfriend problems, and so this is him after he wins against Lobov. All right, so
before we do that, let me borrow this for just a second. Everybody in here, if you will, take your hats off. I gotta give this moment to God, so y'all give me a few seconds, just say a little prayer. Dear Lord. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, you've been doing so many amazing things in my life. And thank you for everything. Thank you for letting me get in here and do my thing tonight. Thank you for letting us all get in here and do our thing. Everybody that got here safely, I ask that you please let them get home safely. I ask you everything in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Well done, Jason. Talk about how you
kicks ass. Hey, good for him. You know what I mean? Look, you can't look, you're laughing, but you can't look, this guy prays, he like has a special relationship with God.
Of course.
And this is his job.
Yeah.
This is what he does. It's a sport.
I love the guy.
Exactly.
He seems like a great guy.
He does. I'm a big fan now. I'm a big fan. Praise Jesus. That's pretty awesome.
So, and then your boy, Johnny Bedford.
Oh, yeah?
He won. He's undefeated in bare knuckle boxing. He fought Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
Who changed the name to Felony.
I know. Good for Felony.
Yeah, 3 minutes, we got to go. All right, yeah. But Felony trolled him during the weigh-ins. The whole time during the can we bring up Felony Johnny Bedford weigh-in, and then Felony broke his hand during the fight and then quit. The second time he's 0-2 in bare knuckle boxing because
the first time he broke both of his hands.
But this time he only broke one.
Yeah. Damn.
So he's getting better. So
I miss his old name, Crazy Horse.
Yeah. So this was the weigh-in between Felony, and then he walked into the bare knuckle boxing with his jeans around his ankles, and his shorts on.
Makes sense.
Into his fight. This dude's one of a kind.
It's like Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show.
He's the thing about Crazy Horses, you're always gonna get a show.
Can't miss these goes.
It might not be the show that you want to get.
It's called a moving target.
So this is Crazy Horse weighing in, and for some reason he's like streaming live during the weigh-in.
Gotta get them
knowing
Facebook
if all
views.
these kids went here, I would get butt-ass naked, but...
146.0 pounds for Felony.
One of the greatest characters.
Too bad you weren't there to tell him to like put some clothes on, if he was butt naked.
Put your pants on. Quit swinging.
Scroll like a little faster.
I just like seeing Anthony Johnson in all these clips.
Yeah. So him against Johnny. And then you were Bedford's coach, right?
Yeah.
Nice guy, right?
Great guy, yeah.
I mean, he's a real tough guy, this kid.
Tough.
I mean, he's a guy you just don't want to fight. I think he's like a 4-time state champ wrestler from Indiana. He's just a guy, so him and Crazy Horse or Felony, they definitely Crazy Horse. He's taking pictures.
Especially once you get beat up, you're scared.
I don't know. I mean, this dude is he's next level. I don't know what he's saying. But Crazy Horse was actually doing really well. He was losing the fight, but he definitely fucked up Bedford's face.
Yeah.
I mean, he hits hard.
Yeah, I mean, but damn, if his hands are falling apart, you know what I mean? That's tough.
So here he is, turned his back on him, and like, you know, so this is that. So anyway, so that was that. This week, MVP is fighting coming up. You know, Michael Venom Page. Ever heard of that guy? He's the guy that, like, you know, it was the next big thing. He got knocked out by Diego Lima, which was but he won his last fight. And he has a new opponent. But yeah, so that's this week in Bellator. And then coming up, quick predictions, Mayhem, real quick, for fights coming up. Overeem, who's that guy Overeem's fighting? Undefeated guy?
He just won his fight like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's like from Zimbabwe or some shit. Just a giant black dude. He's probably gonna win.
Against Overeem?
Yeah.
Why?
He's gonna land that one punch, and then, you know, Overeem's his chin is kind of.
But he's untested though. He's untested. But on that card, actually, Overeem versus Rozenstruik is Cynthia Cavillo against Marina Rodriguez. Cavillo's a girl that her ex-boyfriend cheated on her. She went to get back in shape to take a fitness class, and now she's 8-1 in the UFC. A little badass Mexican. Stefan Struve Ben Rothwell.
Oh wow,
that's a good fight.
That is a good fight.
It's like a Bellator main event, but I'm still gonna I'm still gonna watch it. And then Tim Means versus Thiago Alves. That's a great fight. Another guy who went to jail. Bryce Mitchell's a guy who's 10-0, who in his other job was like a driller and drilled his nutsack by accident. And then posted the picture on another guy. He's from Tennessee. I think from the same place these guys are from. And then posted that. So yeah. So this.
He needs a little prayer session.
So what do you got coming up, Joe?
You can go follow me on TikTok. I'm on TikTok now. My username.
Like 11-year-olds on that thing.
Hey man, that's the audience these days. It's the majority of consumers. My name is Hot Chin Action on TikTok. Hot Chin Action.
Can't wait to download that.
And then what else you got coming?
That's pretty much it right now.
Mayhem.
Bro, I mean, I'm going to get on hotchinaction.com, whatever the hell it is. And yeah, bro, thanks for having me. It was a fantastic show.
It was.
I mean, it always is.
I'm at Miami Improv tomorrow night if this gets out by then. Then I'm at Comedy Key West, California, Key West, Florida, Thursday or Friday of this week. And then I'm going to be December 6th at the Long Beach Laugh Factory, December 8th to the 14th in Las Vegas at the Strat. It's not called the Stratosphere anymore. It's called the Strat at the LA Comedy Club at the Strat. The same week as Colby Covington versus Usman. Maybe I'll get 2 tickets and you'll come out there, Mayhem. But thank you guys for listening to us. Thank you to Speedweed for putting this all together. And take care. Have a great week.
Trap, sans trap, danse. Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан. Даадar стуулан дур булаа мууруулаа.